Welcome to Gray Areas for March 24th, 2026. This is episode 716, and half the cast is gone.
I am here, though.
Sean is here, and Dave sometimes can be late for reasons that are a little bit borderline, but he is down a vehicle with, a family of 5, so, I can at least understand. I'll give him partial credit. And then Cody was like, I'll go to a movie, and I'll make it in time, and then he didn't.
What movie did he see?
I don't know. Maybe Hoppers?
Ready or Not 2, but he probably saw Project Hail Mary.
Probably Project Hail Mary. And it would be appropriate if it was Hoppers, but...
Oh, could have been Hoppers. I almost saw Hoppers. That's a good story, but I didn't.
The end.
I saw Undertone instead.
But
I've heard it's good. I've heard it was, in a lot of ways, a return to form for Pixar.
Well, interestingly enough... we'll get into this here in a second because we have 64 Disney animated classics now. That's a perfect number for a tournament, which is why we're doing this. Last week we talked about doing a tournament, and now we're doing it because we're in the middle of March Madness. But guess what? 64 Disney animated classics. By this time next year, there will be 32 Pixar movies.
Oh.
Hoppers is number 30. There's 2 more, including one next March. So we'll have another ready-made bracket-style tournament for next year with Pixar. Now, we ranked Pixar movies, but that was also 10 Pixar movies ago.
Yeah.
And this is a different format.
Yes.
So if we want to go that route, we now already have something for March 2027 for our tournament because the numbers just happen to work out perfectly.
And it's different than a tier list because, if you guys knock out a movie that I really like, my number one goes because of an unfavorable matchup, I could end up crowning, a different movie. What do you mean you talked me out of seeing Hopper? Maisie, as an adult male. These are, I've told this so many times, Chris, animated movies, they should appeal to kids on a base level, but there should be more there for adults. And usually the best ones are exactly that.
Yep. I agree. But, there's still a stigma around it, even now in 2026. Not nearly as bad as it used to be, say, 20 years ago or more. It used to be, those animated movies are for kids, and Pixar in particular did a large part of fixing that, but so did Disney movies over the years.
Now, granted, with Maisie and the job she's in now, if she didn't like the optics of a male in a theater with children alone, maybe that's a little better, but I still think she is going off the stigma.
Probably, yeah. I guess I'll start explaining what's going on to buy us time until both Dave and Cody get here, which is supposed to be at some point before 10 after, hopefully. At this point, dear audio listener, you're 3 minutes in, that's still 5 minutes off. But Michaela's also here in the crowd, so this is good. As people may have seen on the community post that I made for the YouTube channel, if you are here live, you get to break ties. And the 2-2 ties happen fairly often. I would say that came up a dozen times the last time we did a tournament. And that means that you get to have a say, because if we're deadlocked, it's going to go to you guys for the majority of it, and then whatever wins, and it's powerless to stop it anymore.
Damn.
What we are doing is a 64 movie bracket. Every Disney animated classic is here. Disney animated classic is a specific phrasing for a reason. It means a few different criteria, but it is officially recognized. So it has to be done by Walt Disney primarily as the animation studio. It has to be marketed, produced, there are certain issues here that would preclude other things from being on here. So, all the shitty straight-to-DVD movies are not here. They're not officially Disney animated classics, and most of them suck.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that they were not considered an animated classic. They do suck, but...
And a couple are okay. Yeah.
He's when are we getting into the basketball?
Right.
I'm so confused.
I did call it Mickey March Madness. Cody in the file that he was helping me with called it Mick Madness, like M-I-C-K. Okay. But then that sounds like McDonald's.
Right.
So that's no good. The dogs are going nuts, so Cody must be
Cody's here.
I'm kind of trying to avoid the methodology stuff until Dave and Cody get on because I don't want to repeat it.
Well, it's so interesting. I was listening to a podcast recently that went into the kind of crazy history of some of those straight-to-DVD movies and also how it's congruous with the downfall sort of if there was a golden age of Disney animated picture, the straight to DVD is what kind of took it out of that. It was really kind of interesting retrospective. It made me look at not Return of the King, King of Thieves. differently. Because I remember that movie being like, okay.
Yeah.
And hearing them talk about it, I was like, oh, that movie sucks.
Unfortunately, it does. And there's moments in it that are good. It's not like it's a useless watch. And it can be fun to kind of hate watch it, too. And for some reason, they got Robin Williams back. That's the weirdest part to me. It was like, they didn't need him for Return of Jafar. And they're like, you know what? We need to make the third one great. Him. And he could not save it.
Well, and like I heard a thing that was like, and I don't remember this. I'd have to watch it again, but they basically said like, yeah, the situation must have been they got him back to the studio, but for like an afternoon. So they like recorded all his shit in the beginning of the movie, and then he's gone for the whole rest of the thing, more or less. I thought that was interesting. It probably warrants a rewatch. You're here.
Yeah, sorry.
You're ready, but we still can't start because Dave's not here.
Yeah, but did I beat Dave?
You did.
You did.
He's
That was
not on
most
the
You
screen.
see Dave?
If you see Dave, say Dave.
Well, there are
Although
participants.
his screen is kind of broken.
There are participants
so
without video who are currently hidden.
so it could be him.
he could be there, be hidden.
That's true. Hasn't turned on his camera yet, but no, he has not joined.
This
I
is
just-
called like a Disney bracket fight, and Maisie was like, "Oh, I saw a bracket, thought it was basketball." So she's
It's
catching
called,
up.
It's Mick Madness, okay? Or March Mick Madness, some shit like that.
I called it Mickey March Madness, which is really involving two different, very copyright enforced things. But
Yeah, but you didn't write it there, so you're not going to get
I don't like
That's right.
Mick Madness.
It's Mick Madness.
I that reminds me of the Rolling Stones. I don't like it.
I was hoping to at least get a response from Dave as far as an ETA. You know,
Well, he
like,
said 8:10, so that was his ETA.
well, I know.
He said 10 minutes 9 minutes ago. So hopefully,
Yes, and
He's here
Maisie,
in a
I was
minute.
just down there in Tucson over the weekend, so I saw all the U of A stuff everywhere.
oh, dude, that would be fun. I will never experience going to NAU. I will never know what the excitement is with a college town having their team actually represented.
Yeah, and even if I think NAU's made it once in the last 20 years,
Yeah.
Something like that.
And
Yeah.
like Dave will never know it either.
and when they
So,
do, they're
He
going
won't.
to be
You're
they're
right.
a 14 seed and they get their ass kicked in the first round.
Yeah.
Almost there, 5 minutes or so. Well, then we're going to have to start without him, and I'll text him the matchups as necessary, but we're going to knock out a few of them in advance.
You can just do some of the easy ones, right? now.
Yeah,
In theory.
it's kind of funny because I saw a thing that was like there are no more Cinderella stories in them. So basically, what I'm saying is there is basketball stuff we can talk about at another time.
Yeah.
I actually want to talk about sports for once, but we have this thing. Yeah, so we were talking, Cody. We can knock out some of like the no-brainers, right?
Yeah, I mean, are Chris, are you able to actually freely bounce around and not be trapped in the order like I was on my phone?
I am not, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah,
only
I
downside.
think we'll go step by step.
Because we can skip every 1-16 matchup. There's no way any 16s are getting votes. But unfortunately, I can only pull up the first one. What I will do
That's what I thought.
is I will talk about how we got to this point and why things are seated where they are, and that should buy us enough time,
Okay.
I hope.
That's fair.
Jaguar,
Then Dave
thank
won't
you
be here for that,
Letting
but-
Maisie know she's not crazy.
Right.
That's
I mean,
very
March
nice of
Madness
you.
has a specific thing, but it also says Mickey, and it's the first word. So, I mean, I get where you guys are coming from. I'm just saying, like, I tried to mix it up. It doesn't matter. So on the screen, my pointer's visible, and that's not supposed to be the case, but whatever, here we are. You will see that we have all 64 movies ready to
Oh.
go into this bracket
Glorious.
in March Madness style. So there's 4 quadrants of the bracket, and they're all seated 1 to 16. And what we've done for this, that Cody helped me with today, is it's not even just like there's a picture of the movie and whatnot. We got a year it was released, what seed they are, and we have the ratings from IMDb, Metacritic, Rotten Tomatoes, tomato score, and then the popcorn score.
Whoa! Now that was fed
Meter.
in, or you guys built that part too?
Chris built it.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Chris
That's
built all that.
fucking cool.
I
and then
built a
built
lot of stuff.
A template to then very creatively. So the thing I was fascinated by when he had me help do this is when you clicked on the little half circle for where the meter is, by changing the number, it changed the percentage of it filled. It's like 98 is almost all dark.
Yeah.
And then-
Oh yeah.
So that automatically changed the percentage
So
equally for where.
my hope is that
So
we can
cool.
leverage this for a different tournament, like for the most part.
Oh, he absolutely can.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's all great, but like this much work for a one-off, I would that would make
No,
me sad
honestly,
for
the,
you.
the template on Canva that he created can be used. I think
And-
movies is really easy because
Yeah.
they're all right there. And
right.
Because I immediately pitched being like, oh, we can do this for Pixar. And Chris was like, well, guess what's going to get to 32 by next year?
He said that.
Yeah.
So you have IMDb, you have Rotten Tomatoes critic score, you have Rotten Tomatoes user score, and then you have Metacritic.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Correct.
Great.
And
Look
the
at me, knowing all
rankings,
the-
I know they're kind of small, but the rankings are underneath them, which I think is important because a lot of these score pretty well. Disney movies as a whole are pretty good. So you
that's
might have something that's
cool.
like And 80%. Well, that's pretty good. Well, and 80% on some of these might put you in the middle of the pack.
I love to see, immediately, are we going with the trend or are we going against it?
And I went through and did a sample bracket for this just to see how it would go. And I was kind of like, I mentioned I wanted to maybe do a prediction one. We didn't have time for that this year. We'll do that in future years. But there were a couple times where I was on the fence about something, and I used these metrics to be like, well, you know what? If they're that well respected more so by this, then I'm going to lean that direction.
I'm going to be so fascinated. I kind of hinted at this, Chris, when we go to like Alice in Wonderland, because like it's a movie I don't really love, but I think a lot of people really do. So,
including me.
So there you go.
There are a couple of pretty disparate results in these, and we'll talk about them when we get there, because for the audio listener, I know you can't see them, but we'll talk about some of the relevant numbers as they come up.
Okay, yeah.
You really should be on the YouTube channel, though, because then you can participate and see all the graphics I'm building these days with no spare time. It's fine, but it was worth it because I'm really happy with how this came out, because now it's like a thing, which is why it's infuriating that Dave is not here, but it's not his fault.
Chris found a hyperbolic time chamber. Instead of training,
it's really
he's
great
building
when
graphics.
It's really great when your boss gives you calls like, "How busy are you at work today?" I'm like, "Well, I was gonna be kind of busy." He's like, "Well, how about you do this instead?"
I like that actually. That's.
And I was like, "I can help for once. Absolutely,
Yeah.
I want to help."
So let's talk about this matchup a little bit, because we're not going to need to vote on it, I don't think, but it'll buy us the last minute or two till Dave gets on.
Tell me what Fun and Fancy Free is.
I asked the same thing.
So what we did here, I guess is the last thing I can explain before Dave gets here, although Dave will probably ask the question and whatever, fuck him, is I went through, as Cody saw, and did a whole spreadsheet based on these numbers, as well as the number of rankings something had on IMDb, and then a little bit of like, the selection committee for March Madness has some, a little bit of personal leeway. It's not just all number-based. It's not Ken Palm ratings. So Snow White, for example, was not technically in the top 4 to get a number 1 seed, but it's Snow White, and it's like the first one.
Yeah.
And it's also technically the first major motion picture in a way. So, like, it got a little bit of extra boost. It would have been like a low 2 seed, but instead it's a number 1.
Yeah.
So that spreadsheet basically dictated, for the most part, where these things ended up seated, because it was the only objective way to do it. It's tough to really see these without bringing subjectivity into it, but we use these combined rankings to do it. So there will be a few things that you're surprised by. For example, Pocahontas is a 13 seed.
That seems correct to me. Because that's low. 13 is very low.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we were going through it, I thought it should be a little bit higher, but that's also my generation when I watched it, blah,
Sure.
blah, blah, all that shit. And then I kind of went through and I looked at the things that were seated above it. I'm like, there's like a couple I've got qualms with, but not a ton.
Pocahontas, man. I can't wait to talk about that one. Holy
What's nice,
shit.
though, is looking at this has some March Madness style effects to it, where 11, 12, 13 type seed might win a first round matchup. There's some interesting matchups in the first round where somebody could have an upset, just like in the tournament. Now, sometimes like a 15 or a 16 seed wins. That's not going to happen here, spoiler alert, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
All of our 16 seeds are the really, really old movies, like after the first couple, like Snow White,
Yeah.
Cinderella. Fun and Fancy Free is one of them. I put all the old ones like that in the 16 seeds, because even if they could stand on their own merits, none of us are going to vote for them.
Right.
No.
I want to tell you.
And some of them are movies that are not movies. They're like 3 or 4 shorts stacked together.
Yeah.
Yes.
I learned.
Who was I talking to about Pocahontas the other day?
Not me.
So Pocahontas 2, and they were like, why did they make it? And I was, tell me about it. I said, I don't know why they made it.
I've never watched
It was like they set out, they wanted to tell the true story of, because she didn't end up with John Smith.
Right.
She ended up with John Rolfe. And I was thinking, who the fuck cares about the true history of what?
The
first movie is a talking fucking raccoon.
I mean, the
Or in a
first.
tree.
the
The
first
raccoon
movie-
doesn't talk, but
I mean, the first movie is not quite historically accurate and
Yeah.
pretty whitewashed to begin with.
Sure.
We don't fully need to go there.
we
We'll
got
get to
into
it.
fucking tree spirit and shit, and we gotta have her end up with
I
John.
mean,
What?
We'll have that conversation on some of these in terms of there's some movies I hold in higher esteem because Disney finally did culturally maybe try to actually get it right.
Like Pocahontas.
Right.
And didn't take a bunch of white characters and shade them in tanner that they should
Yeah.
be and then run the movie out.
Yeah, and it's funny because Avatar is just like Pocahontas, but not racist, which is crazy.
Speaking of things that are like Avatar, well, Dave's not here yet.
Okay.
Hoppers is very good.
Oh, you saw Hoppers.
Hoppers
That's what you're saying.
Is very, very good.
Okay.
It's not like the best Pixar movie of all time or any shit like that. It is very funny. It is a little bit unhinged, which I liked quite a bit
Great.
with how manic it kind of is. And shit, that movie gets kind of sad.
Yeah,
it does actually get sad.
Don't they have? They literally have an Avatar joke in the movie.
Yes, they get ahead of it. 12. I mean, it's been in
Yeah.
all the trailers. It's like 12 minutes into the movie. They just get that out of the
They're like, so it's just like Avatar. What we're doing? They're like, yeah. Okay. Great. Anyway, so we've vamped long enough. I think we can at least start.
Yeah.
We can get past this matchup. Snow White's going to advance unless somebody stops me, which I'm sure it's not going to.
No. I would love to know what Found and Fancy Free is about, but
doesn't matter.
I can go on Wikipedia and read you
No.
Nope.
We'll go.
One of the ways we're going to save time on this and not have this take 4 episodes is by not talking about Fun and Fancy Free because no one cares. And if you're out there and you do care, then you've come to the wrong podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
What I can tell you is that Snow White, like I said, top seed, historically important, tied for 2nd on Metacritic, tied for 3rd on Rotten Tomatoes by critics.
Oh,
critics love the old movies a lot. There's a curve on them for them, but
yeah. Chris, I'll tell you one more vamping thing, but it's actually good because we talked about this. Not spending a lot of time talking about like Snow White, for example, right now, because when it actually gets to a matchup that matters, that's when we'll really, and we're going to do that a lot for these to kind of save time.
So Fun and Fancy Free is indeed 2 stories in one.
Okay.
It's just double stacked. One being Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Oh,
but you remember.
Yeah. But it's no Snow White.
Yeah.
So
there you go. That's what it is.
So
what's the next one?
We'll click on these and it'll go on. So that was the 116 matchup. Number 1, Snow White moves on. And then the next one will come up. The 8-9 matchup is one of the trickier ones. They're usually very evenly matched. In this particular case, we have the 8-seed Hercules against the 9-seed Winnie the Pooh. Hercules pretty solid across the board, but never really sticks out in any of the review categories. Winnie the Pooh, the same, but slightly worse.
I mean, I liked Hercules a lot. Are we going to have any issues for now?
There is a Winnie the Pooh in this bracket that is better than this one. As simply put, much better than this one.
I don't think I've seen this one, so
it's fine. But honestly, like I grew up with the Winnie the Pooh like cartoon on the Disney Channel and the movie that's on here. Those are classic and better. And Hercules is a nice, unique, different story than that. Hercules is easily the pick to me here.
All right, Dave, weigh in really quick. Hercules versus Winnie the Pooh. It's go time.
Newer Winnie the Pooh.
This is the newer Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
So this is definitely Hercules wins. The older Winnie the Pooh might have had a shot.
Okay.
Since this is released in 2011, this is a much easier.
Everything Dave said is what I agree
Dave, we're going to need you to ask no questions. Just fucking roll with it. Context clues.
All right. The 5-seed 101 Dalmatians against the 12-seed Aristocats. Yes, dogs ended up against cats. It was random between the seedings.
That's fucking awesome.
The 5-12 matchup was set, but which one ended up where was random? 101 Dalmatians tied for 3rd among Rotten Tomatoes critics.
That's a 98 Rotten Tomatoes for that movie.
Is it like, you know what's funny is
that makes me feel way better about things.
Isn't it like I'm getting them crossed? Aren't they very similar movies? Like
pets
go
not at all.
Missing,
not really.
And then they're trying to find all the pets, and then they're trying to find they're trying to find the cats.
So Aristocrats is basically Oliver Twist, but with cats. And 101 Dalmatians is a crazy lady.
That's the other cat movie.
That's the other cat movie.
There's one called Oliver and Company is Oliver.
Yeah,
Oliver Twist.
There's the one called Oliver and Company, which is not Disney.
Aristocats has Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat, and Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, and the racist Siamese song, and
maybe I'm being reductive a bit, but like cats go missing. They're trying to find them. The fucking butler
dogs being
gets rid of them. Dogs go missing. Detectives trying to find them. You know, they're similar enough. Anyways, I didn't love 101 Dalmatians. I am surprised it is a 5-seed. I am surprised it's a 98%. I wasn't expecting to get into a matchup this early, but like I like Aristocats more. Maybe that makes me a bad person.
Dog owner. Bad dog owner, yeah.
Yeah, but like just because the movie's about dogs, if it's a bat, maybe you should be more angry because I like dogs and I didn't think the movie was very good.
No, it just means you're not legion to dogs. I like Dalmatians better.
So we have at least one vote for the higher seed, which means we got to go into it.
But like I'm talking about the movie. You're just talking about you like dogs more.
No, I like 100 Dalmatians. When I was a little kid, it was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Growing up.
I don't like it.
Aristocrats is simply forgettable. Like I don't remember this movie, and yet I know I've seen it multiple times, and I don't remember a thing about it except that white cat with the bow is really, really annoying.
No, she's cool. When you sing your scales and your arpeggios. You remember that?
No.
And everybody wants to be a cat.
Very similar to Dave.
I
know I've seen it, and I have very little recollection. Whereas 101 Dalmatians and the squishy pack VHS of Disney stuff when I was a little kid got replayed over and over and over again. I love this movie.
Definitely a better villain. I mean, hands down. Cruella
It's a great villain.
I can't even tell you really, other than like the butler, who the villain is in Aristocats.
Yeah, Edgar.
Yeah, because they trust Edgar, and then
Creme de la Edgar.
Yeah. Man, Aristocats is really good. I'm still split, but it sounds like it's not going to matter because you guys are going down my.
Well, if David, it's Chris's vote,
I would go to Aristocats.
So it's tied.
Hey,
which means we're going to chat. I already saw Michaela's vote. Maisie, I need yours real quick, and anybody else who's in the chat, Jack Rock, whomever. You're breaking ties, and we have our first one. It's 2-2. Whatever gets the most votes in chat right now will advance for now.
What do you even remember about 100 Dalmatians?
My wife and see which one she votes for here.
It's got to be quick,
Dave
though.
thought it was not even the same movie. So what do you remember of 100
It was
Dalmatians?
scary. I mean, again, I loved dogs growing up, and I love this. I mean, again, I love the. We get all these mix of characters and stuff like that with all the. I mean, again, I don't remember it perfectly. You're right. But there's a lot of different. All the puppies have different personalities and stuff like that. There's this fun ensemble cast.
Okay, Courtney also voted for 101 Dalmatians. That means it's 3-1, which means it's 3-2 in the overall vote. And 101 Dalmatians will live to see another day.
Okay.
She broke the tie. This is why I love this woman.
Okay, the Robinsons don't have to weigh in here because this is going to go to Big Hero 6.
Yeah, so like I first of all, I don't even like this movie. I thought it was bad and very generic.
Meet the Robinsons? There's no personality behind this movie.
There's no personality. Until I think I will say the only nice thing I'll say about it. I also thought it tried it tried. Keyword on tried to be really funny, and it you could feel them trying so hard to get a laugh, and it didn't work. Oh man, T-Rex short arms. Isn't that hilarious? Yeah, where are you taking the joke? No, that is the joke. That's it.
No, you. I don't know how you missed that because that's what they showed in the trailer, and that's clearly all you remember. That's the second time they used that joke, and it's not about the short arms. It's about I'm not so sure how well this plan was thought through, which they used earlier in the movie as well, which was really funny in how they used it.
No, it's
so yes, it is funny.
And I don't even love Big Hero 6, and I think we can talk about it more later because I think
I would get into it later as well.
But I don't love it, but it's better than Meet the Robinsons.
Sure, you can argue. Go ahead. You get your minute to say about it, and then we're going to vote it off.
You can waste your breath.
Absolutely. It's absolutely quotable. There's a lot of good quotes in it, not just I have the big hand, little arms, which is the most well-known, but there's more to it. It does have heart to it, even though it's wacky in every way, shape, and form. And also, I think it kind of has a good lesson for no matter about found family and what it comes from of what it actually means to be a family versus, and what you do to make that happen. It has a lot of problems, yes, but it's also very good in its message.
I think Dave was adopted. I think that's what. Now, but maybe I will say, I actually liked the only thing I like about it is the only time I thought the movie's being unique, and that was the time travel thing and that they do at the very, very end, the big final thing. I thought they nailed. I would say I don't know that it earned the ending because I didn't like the rest of the movie, but I thought they did that well.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, the bad guy being the other kid and all that stuff that depressed the shit out of me the entire movie. I was like, all right, well, I'm super sad for this one kid, so at least there's a payoff that he's the bad guy, I suppose. But that was about all I had.
Yeah, Maisie, you did. Yep.
That's not the reason.
I think
it could be Meet the Elders. It could be Meet the Elders, and I'd still like it. So
a little less,
probably less.
Yeah. Meet the Robinsons, unfortunately, pretty much all in the 40s, and remember, this is out of 64, so the stuff in the 40s is not good.
In America, Meet the Middle Eastern Family.
Yeah, just it wouldn't sell in America right now.
Yeah, not the best.
Especially right now. Nope.
Big Hero 6, 5th on IMDb, 9th on Rotten Tomatoes audience score.
Bit high.
We'll see it again in a bit, and we'll weigh in more on it then.
Bit high.
The 3 seed moves on.
There's Oliver and Company.
Against the 14 seed Oliver and Company.
Dave's like, is this the one about the Aristocrats? No, Dave, that's Aristocats. I mean, do we need to talk about it? It's Mulan.
I liked Oliver and Company because I like the musical Oliver Twist and acted in it in school. At one point, funny enough, I got to choke a woman to death. It was great.
Great,
but
what
Mulan's
did you do
great.
In the play?
Mulan's one of my absolute.
I know. I'm actually surprised Mulan. The only thing I'll say about it now is I'm surprised it's not higher than a 3 seed.
3 seed, yeah.
Metacritic's not helping.
No,
tied for 32nd on Metacritic.
Fucking assholes.
It's funny. I I'm voting for Mulan because Oliver and Company's not great. It's fine. But I gotta say, Mulan, I think you guys love it way more than I do, and I'm not sure why I don't love it as much as you guys do. I like it. It's got its good parts for sure. You guys seem to think it's like number one, and I don't understand that.
It is. I mean, I don't want to tip my hat too much. It's up there. When I think of my favorite movies, this is one of them. Great music. No, you know what? You're trapping me.
Yep,
I'm not going to do
that.
it now.
So Mulan sounds like a 4-0.
Yeah, and Dave's racist. That's what we like.
And Dave's racist.
That brings us
Asian
to
hate.
the 6th seed, Lady and the Tramp, against the 11th seed, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
I have almost no feelings of either of these movies.
I've never seen Mr. Toad. So
Have you been on his wild ride?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Have you been on his ride?
Ben, I've seen it.
Pretty much.
Kind
Actually,
of.
yes. It's part of it.
Yeah, I don't really like Lady and the Tramp all that much, actually. But
I find it to be a vastly overrated Disney movie. Really, really, really significant.
I used to sing the Siamese cat song, but now it's racist, and I think it always was. So
I mean, yes, it was very stereotypical and
Yeah.
poorly drawn, but also it was released in 1955. I don't know much more you can expect, but geez, Lady and the Tramp is not, like I said, it's not that great. The plot, actually, if you watch it again, it's kind of boring. It's like there's a mouse in the house.
Mhm.
That's the conflict. Is there's a mouse, and it's like, oh, that's it. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need necessarily world-altering stakes, but I probably need them to be a little bigger than that.
Yeah.
I will say, like, since Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad is going home, it's kind of a fun interpretation of both stories, and like the ride is good. Like, it has its benefits for sure, but it was going to be a problem no matter what matchup it ran into. I think there were very few first-round matches it could win, and Lady and the Tramp's about to hit the buzzsaw known as Mulan in the second round anyways, so we'll get to it more soon.
okay, that's fair.
Number 7, Jungle Book against number 10, Fantasia 2000. Fantasia 2000 not very well ranked by most of the metrics. Jungle Book, a little all over the place. Tied for 10th on IMDb, tied for 44th on Metacritic.
Jungle Book kind of freaks me out. I don't know why. I was like never.
Tiger scare you?
No, a little bit maybe. Actually, I don't
Is
know.
it-
I get a heebie-jeebies from Jungle Book. I don't really like the music very much. Weirdly, it's catchy. I know.
Oh my
I
God.
just like I don't love it.
That hurt.
Now I think we can
That
talk
hurt
more about it later though, because I think Fantasia. Now this is released in
Well, remember-
1989. There was an earlier Fantasia, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the original
Oh,
Fantasia's on
It's a
here as
2
well.
seed.
Oh, it is. Oh,
It's a
okay.
very high seed.
I have even less recollection about this one.
It was they just remade the fucking movie because it was we were getting to 2000. Like there's
Oh,
there's
okay.
no spirit behind that movie for the most part, really.
Okay,
Jungle Book's
I-
the easy pick here, even though it's going to
Yeah.
lose the
so
next
Jungle
round.
Book clears.
I think so.
I just don't understand how Sean can possibly say he has taste and say the Jungle Book's music is poor.
I was
I
letting
didn't
that
say
go
it
for
was
now.
bad.
I was letting it go for now.
We can say we can get into it later. I'm saying I don't love it for like music that I listen to. It's good, but I think it's okay.
It's some of the best in the. Okay, anyway.
It's not power metal, so it's not very good. Our last matchup in this quadrant of the bracket is the 2 seed Zootopia against the 15 seed Atlantis the Lost Empire. Since all the old movies ended up in the 16 seeds, the 15 seeds are really reserved for the ones that are ranked the worst. For example, Atlantis is 60th on Metacritic, again of 64, and tied for 61st on Rotten Tomatoes critics.
Yeah.
So it's really, really bad as far as those numbers go.
I felt really bad because Jason really likes this movie, and I was like, I hated it. Everybody hated it, and he's like, "What do you mean?" He didn't know that it was critically like destroyed, and I brought that news to him, and I felt bad about that. Luckily, he won't care that much. He's gonna like what he likes, but
I
hated
don't
this movie.
hate it. I think as much as everyone
I don't
else
like it.
dislikes it, but
Yeah.
it's. I mean, as Zootopia is one of maybe my final 4.
So you're being nice. You're just
I'm being
saying
as like
Atlantis is Atlantis.
it's fine. It's
Yeah.
it's not great, but
easy.
like I mean, again, there's some parts of it that I do think are kind of fun and
Oh, sure.
innovative-ish,
Yeah.
I guess, but like Zootopia is the easy choice.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, Atlantis came at the wrong time. I think in hindsight, it's not as bad as it was made out to be.
Mhm.
It has absolutely no chance in this first round matchup. So unfortunately, even if you want to try and make a case, it's not beating Zootopia. So unfortunately, I think it's gone. I don't think it got enough credit, but the metrics are poor, and none of us really liked it either.
I think the visuals are great.
I
do.
I do think visually it's really.
I think the story
it's really
and writing is not
cool looking. It's just, but the story is no.
I honestly, I think I've caught that next wave of it's not that bad because I've actually not seen Atlantis the Lost Empire. I've always kind of wanted to because I've got that when it came out. I was like a teenager and I was kind of not wanting to see Disney movies, and then I was like, oh, it's terrible. So I was like, okay, I don't care. And then coming back, and now it's kind of come back up where it's like, oh, it's not bad. And now Maisie's selling it to me because the girl's hot, so I should watch it. I mean,
Maisie,
look at that.
I feel bad too. I didn't mean to shit on it. I watched it a while ago. Probably deserves a rewatch. With that said, Zootopia is still going to kill it.
Right. Peeta is hot. I think that's also part of why Jason likes it. So,
okay.
As a sneak peek for me, I think Zootopia has become slightly overrated.
Dave, we're going to get to that.
We're going to have a hell of a matchup in the 2-3 if it gets there.
Yeah.
So, all right, Zootopia advances, and we're doing the whole left side of the bracket. We're not even touching the right side this week, which should help with cutting this into 2 parts instead of 3.
Okay.
So we can move on here. This is the 116. Again, the 16s are all sort of designed to die because they're all the older ones that nobody ever talks about. So Melody Time is going up against the Lion King, and there's no need to talk about either. So the Lion King is going to go ahead and advance.
Yes. I love Donald Duck, but I like the Lion King maybe more than any of you.
To be clear, this is not us saying that Melody Time's a bad movie.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. Most people have not seen it. If you love it, that's cool. It's not being the Lion King, so we're not going to spend time on it.
Donald Duck is a constant in some of these older, not so well-known Disney movies. Bizarrely, he's in a lot of them.
Yeah.
But he cast Terra Flare.
And then he died, canonically. So Lion King moves on, unsurprisingly. Now then, the rest of this gets more interesting. For example, the 8th seed, Peter Pan, against the 9th seed, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, both these might feel a little low, but you'll see why. Neither of them did great on Rotten Tomatoes. They're both around the 40 range. They were made up for it in other ways. Hunchback in particular got hammered in a couple other categories too. This is a tough one for me because Peter Pan has problems in it now that have had to be addressed by Disney Plus. Well, what made the red man red, for example.
That could do it.
Was that bad?
Oh,
yeah, it's a metaphor. No, it's not.
I think as I've gotten older, I've appreciated Hunchback of Notre Dame much more. The songs are fucking great in this. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I did not like it as a kid, and I appreciate it much more now. To Dave's absolute point, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of the songs are good.
We had an entire evening playing Dark Souls, and we were just singing like "Dark Fire," but like replacing the lyrics, and we spent 6 hours doing that, and it was very fun. The music's great.
We'll get to it. Well, I guess we have to do it now because this is contentious.
I
think Out There is not even that good of a song as much as some people do. That's like the song from that, but I'd much rather have God Help the Outcast. I'd much rather have Hellfire. There's really good songs in there. A Guy Like You is okay. It's fine. It's fun.
I think story-wise, I didn't super love it. I like that it's darker. I like that it's they're doing something different. There's more shades of gray for sure.
It opens up that late 90s run of a lot of those because I want to say Hercules, Mulan, Hunchback are all released back to back to back, and there's a much different feel to all of those than even the Lion King a couple years before that. It felt like a weirdly different direction. And I just don't feel like this one clicked as well as obviously Mulan did. And even Hercules. I like Hercules more than I like Hunchback as well.
I don't even love Peter Pan.
I don't either, but it's where I'm going with this.
But if I'm looking at bracket, I'm weighing different things. Which one I like more, and then which one had more of an impact and all of that. And I think Peter Pan, while not obviously the original tale, is what a lot of people associate when they think of Peter Pan and the way. I mean, we had an Alien show last year pulled heavily from Peter Pan, so the influence is very strong.
And that version of Tinkerbell is the de facto version now.
Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Elements of that Peter Pan movie have lasted for a long time because it sure as fuck isn't Julia Roberts. So, you're right. I think this is kind of a heart versus head situation because I think Hunchback's a better movie, but Peter Pan is more impactful. I am going to vote Hunchback.
I think I gotta go Peter Pan, which is I like that Maisie and I we are this is dividing. This is the most we've
Your house is divided.
This is the closest we've come to annulment in I think the whole time.
It might be too late to annul.
It's just divorce.
Don't tell me that.
It's
There's
just
always hope.
It's never too late.
No, Hunchback. I actually like Peter Pan a lot. It's one of I do love it, but Hunchback is. I love Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think it's the more I've watched as I get older, the more I appreciate the nuance of it. I love it.
So okay, wait, really quick. So Maisie's clearly Hunchback. Michaela's saying, "Come on, man." I think, I didn't know for what.
I think she's also Hunchback.
So then
she can tell me if I'm wrong.
So then that's 2 for. So then because
I'm Peter Pan.
Cody and I are Peter Pan. You guys are Hunchback.
Yep.
So it's tied.
We're going to the chat. So far, we think it's 2-1 Hunchback. It is Hunchback for Kayla. There's that.
Okay.
So it should be Hunchback by the slimmest of margins, but I told you guys the chat would matter. There's Doug weighing in. It's another Hunchback, so that locks it in. Even if Courtney switched, it would not matter.
What's nice is I have no heartbreak on that. Like I think they're both good. So.
And what's nice about it is, again, this is a group vote. Would you do your own tournament differently? Yeah, probably. But like, this is kind of like the tier list where it's meant to be a group thing.
But it also makes it fun because, like, I can just tell you what my favorite Disney movie is, right? Like, this is actually.
But this actually matters as far as how we go about it. Next up, the number 5 seed Encanto versus the number 12 seed Rescuers Down Under.
Holy shit!
Rescuers Down Under looks low. Some people like it and the original quite a bit. They're both not very high seed, but when you look at the numbers, you can see why they're all below average.
This is, for me, a very tough matchup.
Okay.
I love Rescuers Down Under, and I loved it for a very long time. And I watched it recently, and it's still maybe not quite as good as I remember, but still very good.
I used to love it too, because I'm in the same boat. I used to watch it all the time. Like when I was a kid, this was like VHS repeat all the time. Rescuers Down Under. I watched it not recently, but as an adult, and I'm like, what the hell did I like about this movie? I
still like it a lot, and I think the animation too deserves. I think for what they did for the time period. Was crazy with Rescuers Down Under.
Well, it's easy to forget this is a year after Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid is always credited with the whole, like, it's kickstarted the Disney Renaissance. Rescuers and then Rescuers Down Under bookended on both sides. Rescuers Down Under still holds up pretty well. I would say better than Little Mermaid. And yeah, it's a year older, but like there was different things going on at that time.
Yeah, Dave, just to be clear, this is the one where they're in Australia.
Yes.
You had some confusion earlier in the bracket, so I just want to make sure this is the one with the mice.
Oh, jeez.
And there's an eagle in it.
You can see the eagle.
Yes, I did put the eagle in it in the photo. Yes,
that's right.
Man,
he's riding an eagle. And the villain's cool. The villain's scary. I'm struggling to find anything that I don't like about.
So I think this is going to be 3-1. So I don't want to talk about Encanto a ton.
Yeah, exactly.
It is tied for 4th on the audience meter, which is noteworthy. Like anything that makes the top 5 in any of these categories is pretty good.
To be honest, I don't even know if I am voting not Encanto. Even though I'm the biggest advocate for Rescuers, I still love it. Encanto's really solid for reasons that we'll get to. And it doesn't matter anyway because you all like Encanto more. So
we'll talk about it more when it matters.
Being married to a brown person, I like Encanto.
Rescuers Down Under, though, man, great movie. And these are like polar opposites.
Yeah, I'm not gonna crap on Rescuers Down Under to move Encanto along. It's just I actually think Encanto might be a little. These both might be a little lower as a seed than I would have. Maybe thought.
Maybe. Yeah, exactly.
But again, you can see why. That's why I wanted to include the numbers, and that's why the seating committee did what it did. Because look at those numbers on all 4 platforms.
Encanto, no villain. Rescuers Down Under.
Oh, the grandmother is the fucking villain.
Well,
the grandma's pretty much.
She is
an
awful human being.
No traditional villain.
Now, I would say that when we come into this, anything seeded 13 or higher has a chance to win a first round matchup, which is telling about Disney's entire catalog. There's some good movies in there. Rescuers Down Under losing in the first round doesn't mean it sucks. It just ran into the wrong matchup. This is an interesting one. The 4-13 is Cinderella as the 4 seed versus Pocahontas as the 13 seed. I mentioned it earlier. Look at those numbers, though. For the audio listeners, they all start with a 5. 51st, 53rd, 55th, 52nd. So it's not even just like, critics panned it, but like users loved it or vice versa. Everybody kind of looks back on this like, Cody mentioned like the whitewashing. It's tough, but people also really like Pocahontas, so let's see where we fall on this one. Cinderella's a classic.
Who likes Pocahontas?
I think I did as a kid, and I fucking do not like it. And I don't like it anymore.
I liked it as a kid.
I watched it because it was a major Disney release, right? But like, you know, Around the River Bend is a good song. I don't like Paint with All the Colors of the Wind.
Yeah, it's okay. I like the mining songs. It's kind of funny.
Yes, I do
Savages
like
is the
that.
best one.
Yeah.
Savage is the best song in the whole.
Savages is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's another fun one to sing and replace all the lyrics. But yeah, the side like it was like they it's almost like fitting a square peg into a round hole of like, we're going to Disney-fy this, and like, well, good luck. Now,
they needed a brown. They needed a brown person.
Well, if I'm not being cynical, which Disney makes it hard, is like, I appreciate the attempt to be like, okay, we've covered all these things. Why don't we have like a Native American movie? And like, but then I don't think they went about it super great.
No, not really.
They could have kept more historically accurate, which would have helped. I kind of liked the fact that they had conflict. The tribe that was there wasn't just pushovers like, oh, well, they're just going to take over. It was like, no, we're going to fight back. Like, we're proud people here. So I kind of like that aspect of it too. So I don't, but Cinderella's also got this aspect of like, it's just classic prince saves person story. I don't know. There's some good part of it of just a classic feel to it, I guess the best way to say it.
Yeah, I don't hate Pocahontas, like,
No.
but it did feel very formulaic for me, and it felt like it were these pieces that didn't really work. And the big climax was she covers them. Father,
Yeah.
no,
I
love him.
I like Ratcliffe as a villain. Not
Yeah.
as much as some other Disney villains, but I think he works well because he's pretty much irredeemable, and that's good for that movie. I don't have a ton to say about Cinderella yet because I think it's advancing here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just tough because I think people, at least at first glance, will be surprised that Pocahontas ended up here. Because if it had been a 10 or 11 seed, maybe it has a better chance in the first round. But as you can see, the numbers don't bear that out.
She also jumps off like 1,000-foot waterfall.
You
And
have a problem with
she
that?
That's crazy. Yeah, like I'd almost
painting.
buy.
So she didn't do that back then?
I would buy the talking tree more than I would her jumping off that waterfall. To be
I
honest,
buy that she thought the tree was talking to her.
Oh, that's a more interesting movie.
Peyote.
So Cinderella will
so
move on for now. What's up?
Is what's the official? Is it 3? Is everybody vote? I think I would actually lean Pocahontas myself because I grew
As
up
a
with it in the
racist,
sense
yeah, that
of-
makes sense.
I think you'll get outvoted though. So because I
Cinderella-
think we're all Cinderella days.
Yeah, I'm
Cinderella did
Cinderella.
underperform at the box office compared to its contemporaries, but I think I still have to give it credit for lasting impact. Again, some of the stuff from this movie endures to this day.
Man,
So I'm very close, but I'm going Cinderella.
I will unfortunately say that some of my favorite parts of Cinderella are just like parodied in Shrek 2 so fucking
I
well,
don't
by the way.
even love Cinderella.
Like, honestly, like Shrek 2 makes it kind of funny.
I think if there's like a big three of Snow White, Cinderella, and
Sleeping Beauty?
Sleeping Beauty, this is the worst.
This is the worst one. I'd agree.
So
Okay, so
anyways.
3-1, it moves on.
Yeah,
Yeah?
3-1 moves on.
All right, almost done with the first round on a decent clip because we'll move a little quicker down the road here, I think. But we have the 3 seed Tangled against the 14 seed Wish.
From what I saw of Wish, this is extremely easy.
Yes.
It's Wish.
I called Wish the most mediocre movie I've ever seen. It's beautifully animated. It has some fun references to other Disney stuff. It has a nice message overall, and you can see fans enjoyed it at least. It didn't do too poorly in that metric. It's tied for 22nd. Every other metric starts with a 6.
Yeah.
There are only 64 teams / movies in this tournament.
Yeah.
So that tells you about where we're at. That user rating on Rotten Tomatoes saved it from being a 15 seed
Yeah.
on its own.
That
by
little
itself.
star looks like he's from Mario Galaxy.
I was about to say the same thing.
It does,
Yeah,
yes.
he's a Luma.
It feels like
Yeah,
copyright infringement. Is anybody going to stick up for Wish?
Nope.
Not at
I
all.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. So
Don't.
Partially because it's just so steamrolled by Tangled for me.
Yeah.
Like hardcore.
And again, there's nothing that really stuck out about Wish. That like there's a couple good songs. It's really well animated. It doesn't really have any heart, which is hard to do in a Disney movie.
Tangled's like Yukon
You
for
picked
me.
it.
The
You just
women's
picked it.
Yukon.
We have the
You just
6th
picked Wish.
seed, Raya and the
You just
Lost
picked
Dragon, against the 11th seed, 3 Caballeros. These are very different things here.
There's Donald Duck showing up again.
I
Yep.
didn't know Raya was Disney.
That's right.
Yeah.
Riot,
Wow.
it's bad. It's so bad. I really didn't like it at all.
I mean, the
I was
reviews
stunned
are
how much I
pretty
disliked
good. So what
I know.
did you not like?
The main dragon there, the blue one, the last dragon, Shisha or whatever.
Aquafina.
Yeah, is annoying.
Hold on.
Yeah,
That
because
character
Aquafina is
yeah,
the dragon. And if you don't like Awkwafina, then
Fixed.
you're not going to find the dragon funny.
I'll tell you what, Dave, because Raya's going to move on. I will watch Raya between now and next week when we do part 2. And I will be more educated.
Well, I mean, it's going to get knocked out because we're going to finish the side of the bracket today. So
Yeah. It's not going to be in
Never
time to
mind.
help.
I won't watch it at all.
I will just spoil it since Dave's seen it. The movie is entertaining again if you can handle Awkwafina's humor, which is up to the person
I think she's funny.
who thinks she's funny or not.
She can
Because
be
the
when
dragon
she's
is just straight up is being Awkwafina.
Yeah, she can be when she's not trying too hard.
This movie's ending is horrific.
Yep.
And its spirit is horrific once you get to the end. And a lot of other stuff is really fun and entertaining
Can you just
about
tell
it.
me really quick what happens at the end?
I don't know. I'm trying to decide. I think the simplest way is it's like, wow, when people fuck you over, you should just forgive them. And there should be no consequences when they fuck you over in a very significant way of fucking you over.
See, because you say that, I'm like, oh, that seems like a good message. I'm sure there's context.
Oh, no.
To me,
it's an
limitless
unredeemable
forgiveness.
villain that they try to redeem.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck that.
What'd you say, Chris?
It's like limitless forgiveness.
Okay.
Like you're expected to forgive no matter how much someone spits in your eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the problem I had was I went into it because I had heard some really good things about it. And look, it's number 1 on the popcorn meter. It's number 1.
It came out during
Disney
COVID
movies.
for what it's worth.
It did. It had to get delayed into 2021, which is when it actually released because COVID. And even when it did, it was mostly streaming. There were very few box office at the time. So it hit at a weird time. A lot of people missed it. And you can see it performed pretty well in the rankings. It's why it's a 6 seed. The end of the movie was sort of How I Met Your Mother-esque, where I was like, I don't want to watch this again because the ending ruined it for me.
Yep.
Okay.
I would honestly, I would vote Three Caballeros because as a kid, I actually really enjoyed it. It was a little trippy in some ways. It was meant to be an exploration of a different culture, which, maybe they were they were a little foolhardy about it, but they were trying in the 40s, which is something.
Three Caballeros is tied for 10th on Metacritic. It's why it made it to an 11 seed, even because it's in the same time as a lot of the older movies that ended up as a 16. But I think I'm still going to vote for Raya once because 80% of that movie was good and it's still really pretty and there's some important representation in it. It's just the ending was so bad.
Dave, if the dragon is not voiced by Awkwafina, isn't a little bit more toned down, do you handle
Dave's
it
like,
better?
it's my favorite movie ever.
No. I don't even know who Awkwafina is. I've literally never heard of this person, so that doesn't matter. The rest of the movie I still didn't like at all.
I mean, Awkwafina's, he hasn't seen Shang-Chi. So
that doesn't matter.
She's great. That's probably like where she's like that type.
I also just
kind of subtle.
I also just literally like her. I watch Nora from Queens. I just like that.
Are we 3-1 Raya?
I think we are.
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right. 2 more to go before we start going back to the top of the bracket for second round matchups on the left side.
Kind of tricky.
Number
actually.
7, Lilo and Stitch. Number 10, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Sorry,
the sequel.
Ralph. That's the sequel. Not so tricky now.
Thank you. Oh God, I was like, are you serious?
Sorry, not so tricky now. Wreck-It Ralph. It may be even slight because I don't love Lilo and Stitch.
That's honestly even with that.
But yeah, compared to Ralph 2, it's better. I liked where Ralph breaks the internet. Like when I think I've talked about this on the show before. I thought the message was kind of interesting. Sometimes, like a lot of time in a Disney movie, they would have found a way to stay together, and the whole message was like, no, it's okay to like go off and do your own thing. I did like that. So much didn't work for me of the movie, and it was just a endless stream of non sequitur memes and references.
It is one of the biggest fall offs from a movie I really liked to its sequel being. Really, like I put that photo in there because I was like, that was the most like funny, entertaining part of the movie is dealing with all the princesses. Which again, it's like it feels like a bunch of skits put together in an animated form sometimes. To where I'm just like,
right.
Some of this is entertaining and some isn't. I like Lilo and Stitch quite a bit, so that was an easy choice. For
I was
me,
thinking about what Maisie said. You mentioned the princesses as one of the wins.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely. I think that scene is very funny.
No, that scene is maybe the best scene in the movie. It was used in some of the trailers. It was smart to do so. But I like that you chose the picture because even though that is a good moment, it's also kind of emblematic of what's wrong with the movie.
Yeah.
Which is like, we got to put a bunch of cameos in and make a bunch of jokes and references. And it's like, that was not what people really liked about the first one.
No, but the first
movie, one has some of the most heart of any Disney movie. We'll get to it on the other side.
Yeah, so Lilo and Stitch, to answer Maisie's question, I don't know. It didn't super hit for me, and I don't know why. I think the creature is cute. Sure. so much of it is like I've seen this movie before. I don't know. It
You
just
still
didn't
hate
grab me.
dogs, apparently. You just still hate dogs. He's a dog. So.
He's a dog.
He's not a
Look
dog.
at him.
He's a dog in the
He's not a
movie.
dog.
He's a
an
dog
alien.
in the movie.
He's dog shaped.
So I'm with you. I did not love Lilo and Stitch. Like the first time I saw it, I thought it was an odd concept. And second of all, the way they like described Stitch, he's like this killing machine, basically. Like the whole movie, they're like, 614 or whatever his number is, they called him, was like, he's dangerous. And meanwhile, he's over here like, playing Elvis songs with his finger. It's like, where's the danger here? Where's the threat?
The tone is really odd because so Lilo and Stitch, from when I was a kid, my comp to it was Invader Zim on Nickelodeon. Because I was like, oh, he comes down and he like literally wants to fucking end the world and kill everybody. And then everything gets fucked up over and over again. And this one's like, oh, cool, I found some people who would treat me like a fucking pet. I'm good. I don't need to kill everybody now. And it's like, okay, well, I guess the spirit of being a killing machine wasn't there. A lot of the side stuff I find pretty entertaining. I also just like it being set in Hawaii.
That's cool. And so representation and stuff like that, that's cool.
It gets that's a step in the better direction. Again, this is the early 2000s, late 90s thing where we were starting to try and hit some of these different spirited type of things.
Animation's cool.
So
animation's cool too.
Again, I don't expect it to go much further than this.
Yeah.
Probably not given what it's going to face in the next round, which we'll get to here in a moment. Sounds like Lilo and Stitch is a 4-0.
No, I would do Ralph Breaks the Internet. I did not like Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
Even though Ralph Breaks the Internet is definitely a pure. Can I talk? Jesus. Even though Ralph Breaks the Internet is definitely a picture of time because it has like memes and basically very short shelf life things. The message was really, really good in that movie, so I still think they did a really good job.
And they could have made that movie so much better.
They could have.
If they didn't get sucked down the internet hole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Which if you made that movie today, boy, it'd be a different internet they're breaking.
Yes, it would.
Instead, it gets gentlemen swept instead of swept. And finally, the last of our first round matchups in this video. Again, part 2 will be next week, so we'll get to the other half. But the last one, this one is the 2-seed Frozen versus the 15-seed Brother Bear. If you like Phil Collins, it's his second full soundtrack. Critics did not. It's tied for 62nd on Metacritic and 63rd on Rotten Tomatoes. Frozen's numbers don't look that great by comparison. It got bumped up from a 3-seed to a 2-seed by the committee because it made $11 billion.
Yeah.
That's not even a real number.
I was surprised to see Frozen's reviews of this way less good than I had assumed they were based off of word of mouth and everything when it came out.
I can't prove this. I think it came out and people were like, this is cool. And then it got super overexposed and everybody's like, actually, it sucks. So I think the backlash was not super fair. Now, maybe it's not true. Maybe these are all reviews. Rotten Tomatoes will do that, though. They'll start to factor in reviews that happen later, and then it will go into the aggregate.
So it drops down as years go by.
It can. Yeah,
Okay.
That's why I forget. Toy Story 2, one of the ones was 100% Forever. Finally got a non-good review, so it's no longer 100%.
It feels like after
some dipshit.
It feels like after like a month, we just close the reviews on how that works. I don't know why you'd be adding more shit to it over time.
And to its credit, this is why having the rankings on the scale matters. Nothing's rated higher than an 8.5 or an 85 on IMDb. Nothing. That's the number 1.
Yeah.
89 is tied for 25th on Rotten Tomatoes' critic scale. So the numbers are a little bit relative. So here, 89's pretty good, but not as good as it might seem.
I don't know anything about Brother Bear. Like I think it's bears, like actual bears.
It is bears. There are brothers.
It's a sibling dynamic type movie, if
Okay.
I remember. Well, I mean, Brother Bear is pretty obvious.
Well, but like it's not a kid transforming into a bear. It's just bears.
They are bears.
And they talk?
Yeah. Well,
Or is it
no,
one-
it's a silent movie of just
No,
growling the entire
They've
time.
done those movies before where like they don't talk.
All I remember about this is it coming out and basically being considered like the worst Disney movie of all time.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I don't even know why.
That's
I don't know
about
why,
what it
but
was.
It's a tough stretch in the early to mid 2000s other than Lilo and Stitch.
And I
Which
think
wasn't
they
that
looked
good.
at that and they were like, see, 2D animation doesn't work anymore. And it's like, well, you're making bad movies, so it's not really fair, is it?
But when we come back to Tangled, that's part of why Tangled gets a little bit of extra credit because it sort of bucked that trend. Now, not necessarily 2D animation, but just Disney had fallen off for most of the 2000s and Tangled brought it back. Not like Little Mermaid did, but to a lesser extent.
But if Tangled was 2D, it still would have been great.
Yeah, the
So I think
story,
they-
the heart
Yeah.
is what really mattered there.
They got the wrong message. But Dave, are you voting for Brother Bear?
No, I've never seen it. Frozen Frozen's weird because I kind of have that whole thing where it was.
Oh, do you
I liked it a lot, especially because my daughter was super young at that time, and then also like it got overplayed, but also it's still good in some ways, and also it's still terrible in some ways. So it's a weird one.
So really quick, so we can't talk about Frozen because we are going to talk about it more later. Maisie just confirmed it is people turning into bears.
I did not recall that.
Yes.
So why
Yeah.
the fuck did we make the Pixar movie?
Michaela mentioned it too.
I am so. I thought Michaela was like joking.
So they
She was
just
being serious.
failed at Native American culture repeatedly over and over.
They
and
tried
over.
twice in 10 years and failed. Yes.
Hell yeah! Oh, I feel so validated.
I really don't recall that.
Sean, you fucking idiot! They're actual bears.
Well, they're bears. They're talking
But
talking
there's
bears.
a chance they could transform. Yes. All right, round
We go
2.
into the second round. My goal is to get to the final 4. So we have 2 more rounds to go, but obviously fewer matchups each time. We've talked about more in the first round than we will in the second and third combined, so we should be able to go pretty quick.
Okay.
We may have to talk about each of them, though. Maybe a couple will go quick. Even this one, I don't know if it's a guarantee
I know.
because Hercules is well liked by the panel. Snow White is Snow White. And while it might not be the
It's-
best movie, it was rather important.
It was very important, but also it's not that good. I don't like it
Yeah,
that much
I
at
think
all.
I am. I will tell you, if we were voting most impactful or whatever, it's a no-brainer for a couple different reasons, actually. But we're not. I think, or at least I am just voting my favorite movie, and Snow White is not it. I don't even
Correct.
really. The only thing keeping Snow White afloat for me actually was the significance. I don't really like it very much. I think even aside from the weird message, Hercules I don't love either, but I do like it quite a bit. And there's some cool shit. Hydra fight, very
actually-
cool.
I've gone back and watched Hercules and appreciate it more as I've gotten older because I didn't watch it a ton as a kid. But Snow White, that girl's voice is grating to listen to, and it's super short and meh.
I mean, just the voice work in Hercules is really good.
I was actually going
Yeah.
to say Danny DeVito being in
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and it's James Woods
James
as
Woods.
Hades, right?
Yeah, yes.
James Woods
Every
is
time I
phenomenal.
rewatch Hercules, I'm just like, damn, man, Hades is pretty fucking entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just like he
Yes.
kind of steals the movie a lot of the time, which gets me
Which,
in a
it's almost bad, but
it's a tough spot.
yeah.
I'm kind of in a tough spot where I'm like, fuck, man, I can kind of feel what's going on.
And it's tough because James Woods kind of went alt-right. but
Yeah,
we can still appreciate
Hades.
Hades.
I don't care.
You
Well, I mean, I
separate the art
care,
from the
but
artist.
like, yeah, he's gonna.
the
Maisie,
art from the
that's
artist.
Kingdom Hearts, but
And it's not Danny DeVito. It's the guy who sounds like Danny DeVito.
yeah, No.
Who's voting for Hercules?
I am.
I'm voting
Right
for
here.
Hercules as well.
Yep.
I'll vote for Snow White to give it a gentleman's sweep so it doesn't get sent home 4-0 in the second round.
Okay.
Sorry, Snow White.
Again,
you were impactful. We know.
Yeah,
Small-
like if we change the metrics,
Yeah.
definitely.
Now, I'm
different.
factoring in importance still. Just like Super Mario Brothers making our best games ever list. I don't think it can come down only to favorites, but I do think it's not enough to outweigh the rest.
Yeah, yeah.
Small tangent of the Pegasus. Like so many times, Disney decides to make whatever fucking animal turn into a dog. Like the
Yeah.
reindeer in Frozen is a fucking dog. And they
Everything's
just
a dog.
decide to make everything a dog. It's really
It's
fucking
part of their
funny.
formula board.
It
It's like, it's supposed to be
seriously
popular.
is, and
Yeah.
it does bother me a little bit as time goes on. Anyway,
101 Dalmatians barely survived the first round. The 5 seed Big Hero 6 is the 4 seed. We haven't talked about Big Hero 6 much yet, but it's getting my vote still because I think what's coming up in the next round is where we're going to have to talk about it more.
Oh, okay, yeah. But then that's fine. I won't talk about it a lot. My vote is also Big Hero 6. I don't even like Dalmatians that much.
I'm voting for
I
Dalmatians,
like Dalmatians.
but it's fine.
I like Dalmatians, but Big Hero 6.
Oh, okay.
I'm voting for that.
Okay.
It's 3-1. We talked about Dalmatians a bit. It's a bit one note. Pretty good for its
Mhm.
time for 1961. I'm still impressed about how many dogs they managed to animate, but
Yeah,
They
Big
look
Hero
different
6
too. Look at
wins.
they actually look
they
different.
do. Oh, I mean, this
don't
is...
need to spend time here. 3 seed Mulan, 6 seed Lady in the Tramp. Is anybody voting for Lady in the Tramp?
No, I will say I like some of the music of Lady and the Tramp quite a bit.
Lady in the
That's
Tramp has some
Yeah,
good
he
stuff
loves
in
that
it.
Siamese song.
Yeah, I
loves
know,
that
but I
Siamese
like
song.
when they're kissing. The Bella Noche is a very good song too.
Yes. It is
We
a
are
good song.
Siamese if you please. We are Siamese if you get eliminated in the second round.
Yes.
Mulan moves on.
Also, let's not overstate the iconic for not being a great movie of that spaghetti scene. Like
Yeah.
it is permeated culture.
It
everywhere.
won't go
Yep.
away.
Yeah.
They will not.
So that's cool.
Zootopia, the 2 seed. Jungle Book, the 7 seed. Is anybody voting for Jungle Book?
Yeah, right here. That's easy. I'll make my case as Zootopia has become slightly overrated as it goes over time. Jungle Book, I think, is underrated. It's based off of, longtime stories of the region. The songs are phenomenal. I absolutely love Jungle Book, and all the characters have permeated into other Disney things over time. I mean, Tailspin was basically just all the Jungle Book characters. Was a show that they made out of them. All the Jungle Book, the story of the Jungle Book is actually what they use in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts for like the teaching lessons. Is the stories from the Jungle Book. I think it's phenomenal and it's lasted a long time.
So, like, what are the bare necessities? Like, good song, catchy. But it's kind of like, folksy. Again, it's like not what I would listen to is like, what's up?
One of the worst songs in that movie. There's so many other better ones.
What are some other ones? Tell me.
I Want to Be Like You is phenomenal. That's probably the best one in the entire thing. Trust in Me is creepy in a way, but it fits the vibe of it. The last song where Mowgli leaves the village and she talks about fetching the water. I don't remember the name of the song, but it fits the vibe really well. There's just a lot of really, really well written songs in that movie.
Dave, there's a mini Dave behind you who definitely wants your attention.
There's a mini Dave.
Tell him too bad. He already got enough attention. He was 15 minutes late because of it.
Chris,
I think this is 3-1 Zootopia.
I think so. So probably don't.
Unfortunately, my lasting image of Jungle Book in my head is that it's one of the movies, along with Robin Hood and a couple others, where they kept reusing the same animations in different spots.
Yeah.
That's not really fair to Jungle Book, which is a good adaptation of Kipling's work. And again, I like Jungle Book, but Zootopia is one of my absolute favorites, so I don't have to think very hard about this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily a 2-track rock. We'll see, because Sleeping Beauty is one of my absolute favorites. We haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see about the older movies.
Again, Alice in Wonderland might be my favorite Disney movie of all time.
Chuck, I really liked Aristocats, too.
Yeah, but it died.
It died already, but I did like it.
Goodbye, Jungle Book. To the bottom half, the other quadrant, the 1-seed Lion King against the 9-seed Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Now, I think this is going to be easy. Is there any...
Even me, who isn't like in love with Lion King like everyone else is excessively, this is an easy pick of Lion King.
I saw Lion King 10 times in the movie theaters when I was 9. Sorry, when it came out when I was 9. I absolutely like Hunchback of Notre Dame more now. If you asked me when I was 9, I would pick Lion King easily. But no, I pick Hunchback. It is a better movie in every way, shape, and form, I think.
Every way is that's a lot. But
better songs, better story, better animation. I think it is.
All right. Well,
Jeremy,
again,
the only
as a person who wants more dark shit in Disney, someone dies in Lion King pretty horrifically, so I'm pretty on board with that.
True.
Though.
So does in Hunchback, by the way.
Well, yeah. Well,
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. So Chris, what do you think? Do we have a tie on our hands?
Yeah, maybe, because this is tight for me.
Okay.
Lion King to me felt like one of the most vulnerable 1-seeds, and we've already lost one, so I guess it's hard to say that's true now. But I don't know. It's hard to argue with Lion King's cultural impact. Among the most referenced movies in this entire tournament, Lion King is way up there. I like Hunchback, but if I'm going to be weighing some of the other factors like these ratings then if it's close, I have to go Lion King.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just think Lion King, I guess we are talking about it a little bit because we need to. There are some things I think I was talking about Lilo and Stitch. I was like, okay, like I've kind of seen this before. It's kind of like a maybe lackluster approach. Lion King is just another story. And so it's filled with tropes, but
it's very Shakespearean.
Yeah. In the way that I think it like makes it like a perfect movie. It's like, the darkest night, the hero returns, and it's like all these things like, yes, you've seen it before, but it's just done so well. It just hits for me.
I think over time, Lion King's been negatively impacted by the fact of, it's like we've talked about, like in Zootopia, I'm like, wow, I'm surprised Disney hasn't exploited this more. Lion King was like a pretty nice open and shut, like, idea. Yeah. And they've tried to drag the shit out of it. And it has made me, in hindsight, get more agitated with it as time goes on.
What do you mean? Sorry.
We make shitty sequels and TV shows and live action. We just drag it into the versus again. I think there's some movies they've made nowadays where they're world building, and I'm like, cool. I want to see more of that world. Maybe not necessarily with the main characters, but I'm curious of the world itself. Lion King is done. Like the story is what it is. It's self-contained.
What about
it's
the prequel movie?
I don't want that. It's fucking bad, and none of it's good, and I don't care about any of it.
So I think this is 3-1 Lion King.
And so, but like that's why I get burned out on Lion King a lot more because of all of its surrounding shit. Which
I will
isn't
just
fair.
say Timon and Pumbaa, the animated show, was very good.
Sure, it's funny, great. Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
Anyways,
Awesome. Has no heart and no meaning other than being funny.
It's just like the tournament. A 9 seed can scare a 1 seed sometimes, and I love Hunchback. It's one of my
we just
favorites,
lost a 1 seed in the real tournament,
but I don't know if it's one of the best.
we'll see. I'll fight more fervently later.
Like I'm gonna try and kill Lion King next round. Don't
The
worry.
5-4 matchup is Encanto versus Cinderella, and I am very, very, very squarely in Encanto's camp.
As am I.
I don't even I liked Encanto quite a bit. I think I like it probably less than any of you.
Yes.
I think it so easily kills Cinderella.
Which we continue to kill the old movies. Yes.
That is true.
Too bad.
Which is too bad.
I like Cinderella. I like Cinderella for a lot, even though I didn't vote for it last round. But and this is not because it's old versus new. This is not because it's old versus new, but I still will pick Encanto. I think what they do with the songs and the songs itself are just phenomenal. I think in Encanto, and Cinderella's songs are not.
Can I just say so that we're gonna have this problem. Chris knows this problem. We're gonna have it with Fox and the Hound. You go back and watch it, and you don't realize how much of like the B plot. Just absolutely nothing fucking to do with the main movie, but like they don't have, I guess, time enough for the main story. So there's just mice and they're just doing shit and there's a cat.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck?
That's probably my biggest problem with Cinderella is that you can summarize it in about 3 sentences. And it's like, well, you can do that with anything. It's like, no, you really can here.
Yeah.
It's a TV movie. It's a 45-minute movie.
And it's a different time back then. We didn't have, like, 1950s standards were very different. But do I think Cinderella's a better movie than Encanto? No, I don't.
You know what would have been fair, and we don't have time for this, was like an old movie bracket. Because it's the same thing with athletes. Like when you do best versus greatest, right? And that's Snow White, maybe one of the greatest, but like best movie, the storytelling, the representation, all that shit, we've evolved past that.
And I thought about doing that. I thought about putting these into 16 movie quadrants where it was like, all right, here's old school ones, here's like the 90s ones, here, but I don't know, because then you kind of pigeonhole yourself into a Final Four that might have some weird picks in it.
Sure.
So I went this route instead. The olds would have been more protected if we'd gone that way, but goodbye, Cinderella.
Yeah.
Number 3, Tangled against number 3, Raya and the Lost Dragon. I barely pushed Raya through last round, so you can bet your ass where I'm going with this one. It's not Raya.
I have nothing to say. It's Tangled.
It's Tangled.
Moving on.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Quick
Cool.
one.
Tangled advances, sorry, but at least Ryan got through a round, and I still think it's worth watching. Just prepare yourself to be disappointed. Finally, the number 7, Lilo and Stitch versus the number 2, Frozen, and I'm not the biggest Frozen fan in the world, but I still think I have it advancing pretty easily here.
Am I the only one that liked Frozen in this?
No, I like Frozen.
I like Frozen.
Oh, sorry. I mean, you don't like it, but like, I liked it quite a bit.
No, I literally
thought
said I'm shocked that those ratings are not in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
I am actually very surprised by that. And again, I like Lilo and Stitch, I think, the most out of all of us, but I would easily pick Frozen here.
Okay, so Frozen just goes on. What a matchup potentially we have later.
Yes, there's a couple 3-2 matchups on this left side of the bracket that are brutal.
This is a weird one.
All right, we have this last 4 matchups to go to set the final 4 before we're done for this week.
Cool.
So we have in the top half, the 8-seed Hercules having Slade, the number 1 seed Snow White. I mean, I guess it's a thing Hercules could do. He is a god.
Yeah.
Against the 4-seed Big Hero 6, I think this is a weird matchup, and I'm not sure where I fall on it.
I like Hercules. But again, I didn't love Big Hero 6. We talked about why brackets are fun is because you get these weird mashups where an underachiever can do a whole lot because who they're facing. And I think Hercules very much could have been out by now. But I like it more than Big Hero 6.
It's fascinating to see them the same on Metacritic and then a 15% difference on the
user audience.
Yeah. It's fascinating that it's that far apart.
I'm actually surprised, Sean, that you don't like Big Hero 6. It's superheroes, it's coming together story, it's overcoming. Like it checks the boxes you love about movies.
I don't just like superheroes. But I thought it was no, I don't. I just there was nothing that super hooked me in Big Hero 6.
I agree with you. See, I agree with you because I like Big Hero 6. I don't love it. The setting was weird when they're like, oh yeah, it's San Francisco and Tokyo combined. It's like, there's an ocean in between there. That's weird. Also, like they leaned on the trope of like, oh, guardian / mentor dies. Now he's got to overcome. It's like, man, that was like every Disney movie for a while had to have that happen.
Yeah. I guess the problem I have with Big Hero 6 is I don't love 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. TJ Miller makes me want to pound my head against a brick wall. I hate that actor so much.
I don't hate the rest of the squad, to be clear, and their roles are much more minimal compared to our core 2, and everybody loves Baymax. But I think for that reason, I'm leaning Hercules here.
And look, I will admit there's a bit of nostalgia with Hercules that I don't have with Big Hero 6, but I have it. It's there. I'll admit it.
I do love Baymax, but I'll go Hercules.
Okay.
Hercules is through.
Yeah, I'm picking Hercules as well. I like felt nothing watching Big Hero 6.
Thank you. That's like what I've been trying to search for.
It's not a bad movie, but I just feel like it was a filler.
Yeah.
And I just have no residual attachment to it.
Yep.
Oh, this sucks.
Mulan
I knew we were
Zootopia.
getting this and it sucks.
Oh dear.
3 seed Mulan, 2 seed Zootopia. Zootopia was the other 1 seed before Snow White pushed it out, but it's still a very strong 2 seed.
Now,
Mulan ended up in 3 primarily because of Metacritic panning it down a bit, but it's still a strong contender. And this is the hardest matchup in the bracket when I looked at potential matchups.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do with this.
For me, it is still easy. I think I like
You don't
Zootopia.
like Mulan as much, you said.
No, hold on.
Sorry.
I like Zootopia less, I think, than anybody here. While I did still like it, I think I liked it the least.
Yes.
Mulan, maybe favorite Disney movie.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It was opposite.
So I did a routine to Mulan. I love all the voice acting. I think it still is funny and holds up today. I think the story's great. Again, when I talk about like perfect movies, like Mulan is way up there for me. So
Look, Dave, Rock agrees with you.
and like a focus on characters too. Okay, so they have this conflict, and instead of focusing really on the conflict, they really hone in on like these characters interacting and how is she gonna do it. They set it up, the save the cat moment right away, like she's doing it for her dad, and that family dynamic. Like there's so much that they do with like it's not a very long movie. I'm impressed by even today. I think it's great.
I can't believe they got Eddie Murphy to do this movie.
I know, and he's great.
To this day.
He's great in it.
To this day, it's so like him being Donkey in Shrek has overshadowed this as an animated thing to me.
I think
even though this is way better,
in this,
even though this is way better in this,
Yeah.
unquestionably.
Yeah,
But I feel like it gets overshadowed from that, and it still shocks me to this day that they got him to do this movie.
great music.
Yeah.
2
That's
or 3
that's
super bangers.
Yeah, that's what again, Mulan's again story and its historical accuracy and obviously in terms of like the baseline of it is all fine and good and whatever. It's the music that I have been like, wow, that's some of the best music in any of these movies, without a doubt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you're thinking of Be a Man. You're thinking of Reflection. You're thinking of to me, one of the standout tracks is when she like decides to ride out after the rest of the army, and like she just like there's other music that's just instrumental in that movie that's really, really
like
good.
The score is great. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, Dave, what was wrong with your face?
I don't know what you're talking about. 2 or 3 bangers. Let's get down to business. That's a banger. I'll give you that. I can't think of another banger in that movie.
Reflection's pretty known for like these things are opinions, but like you not liking Reflection is a you problem. I will say
maybe in need of reflection.
It's not that I don't like it. It's that I truly don't even remember it. It wasn't that memorable.
Like
something about Mulan. Something about Mulan was severely unmemorable for me. I watched it. I've seen it multiple times. I don't know what it is. It is just unmemorable for me. I don't know why. And I don't even like Zootopia that much.
Do you hate women?
No, God. What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, well, because it's kind of a big theme in Mulan, so I just want to make sure.
It's God. Yeah, my feelings on misogyny is based on my like of one movie. Sure.
What if you were like, oh wait, I do hate women? Yeah, maybe that.
Look, Dave. Again, I think Mulan drags in certain points of the movie. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's like amazing. Again, also I like Zootopia more than everybody else, and it's like I think but Chris is gonna like try and fight for it too. I'm voting for Zootopia here. Again, I get everyone thinks it's overrated and blah 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 and all that stuff. Again, there's so much more they can dive into from that. And because it set the stage for it, I'm going to go there. But it's like, I'm also just like, I'm a little bummed Mulan. I'm voting against Mulan this early, honestly.
I will stand Mulan even further and say, other than maybe T in the beginning, when she's maybe they spent a little bit too much time on that, but it's kind of funny and whatever. To me, it's the only part that like drags. Everything else, perfect.
I'm trying to think where the point is, like about 2/3 of the way through, and where I'm like, okay, let's get to the finish here a little bit. But I also understand why it's in. I get why it's in the movie.
You can argue that A Girl Worth Fighting For is kind of a waste of time, but I think the most important thing it does is set up the abrupt cutoff into the village being on fire.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
So like that 3 minutes is not necessarily well used, but for the extreme tonal switch that it achieves, it kind of still works.
It's a design on purpose that I don't love that part of the movie, but you're right. It's like, oh shit, that's already.
Where are you going here, Dave?
I think we're 2-2 because Sean shot down my favorite movie earlier, Hunchback. So I'll go Zootopia, shoot down his movie.
Oh, okay, this is a deliberate attack on you.
Seems a little bit petty.
A little bit, but also I Mulan just for me was not that memorable. While Zootopia is overrated, I still do enjoy it.
This kills me a little bit because Mulan's going to win the tiebreaker easily, if there is one. My vote would make it 2-2 if I vote for Mulan. If it's 3-1, then we don't go to a tiebreaker. And like I said, this is a really tough matchup for me because these are two of my favorites. Mulan will always have a special place in my heart. Zootopia, I'm not entirely sure where some of the notion of overrated has come from, and that's not to say like Shaq Rock or others who had that opinion are wrong. Somebody else mentioned it earlier. I thought that was Dave. I think it's one of the best as far as morals and themes in the entire Disney pantheon, and it's only gotten more, I don't know, let's say true to the world in the decades since it came out. And so I think I have to vote Zootopia, and it fucking kills me to eliminate Mulan. I knew this was coming in the 2-3 matchup. I was not really excited about either getting voted out, but that was what I was going to do coming in, and I'm not going to change it because I know what the outcome is going to be. I have to stay true to it. I can't cheat the system.
That hurts.
Sorry.
That's a mistake, everyone.
Look, in multiple other situations, I might have Mulan in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Seriously.
There are brackets where Mulan gets 2 rounds further than this, if not more.
That kills me.
It'd be funny for you to tier these after the fact and see what movies got knocked out in like the second or third round that would have been like A or S tier.
Mm-hmm. But it's all about matchups.
Shattered.
Number 1, Lion King. Number 5, Encanto.
I can't continue on. I'm shattered.
And I am officially voting Lion King off the island now.
Yeah, I'm voting for Encanto.
I'm still Lion King. I mean, like, I think Encanto is great. I was like pleasantly surprised. I think it's really solid. I love how it subverts expectations. I think like Lion King is like I just on it.
They're identical on Rotten Tomatoes. That's crazy. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
That's great. No, I really like Encanto. I really like the music in there. The little twist. The best song in that by far is The Surface Pressure. Just the idea of feeling. I think that's the best song in the entire thing by far. Yep. However, I'm going Lion King because as much as I was trying to downplay it for the last round because I wanted Hunchback to go on, Lion King's a great movie. I really like it. I watched it as a kid all the time. I absolutely love it. So I'm going Lion King.
Chat, we're going to need that tiebreaker. Michaela's vote is in. Weigh in on Lion King versus Encanto,
I'm trying to make
please.
Raya, she's paying attention vaguely off and on as we're doing this, but it was also delayed on some responses.
We need to like set rules for like Maisie. I know she's voting, but 2 things on that. She's voting against me almost every time. And also, she's actually in the fucking podcast. You and Courtney, Ryan and Courtney, they're like, hey, babe, I need another vote. Just text her.
She's listening to the show, but
okay.
I was trying to get her on to go on to the actual chat of there. But I don't know how she knows how to make to actually
so Dave
post
is the only
it.
cheater.
And my wife would be on there, except she's got 3 children she's trying to put.
Yeah,
right. Why don't you have the kids come vote too?
I could.
Looks like Lion King.
They've seen both these movies.
I think Lion King survives.
Yeah, I mean Raya is trying to vote for Encanto, but I think there's too many of Lion King in the tiebreaker.
There's too many Lion Kings in the tiebreaker, and then we finish with this disaster.
This is funny because it looks like a juggernaut. Tangled easily clears for me though.
This is sort of what happened when these 2 movies came out. Was they were pitted against each other.
Yeah.
And Frozen did better in the box office and had the much more notable music number with Let It Go. And so we have Tangled, the 3 seed, versus Frozen, the 2 seed. And we have to see if Frozen can knock off Tangled, because I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, I actually want to. We can definitely talk about Frozen, I think. I feel like Tangled is going to kill it still. Frozen, I think, great movie, great music. The first half is the only half I really remember anything from Frozen. I know there's a love story that I don't really like between the sister and some guy. And then there's a finale that I'm sure happened. I think there was a resolution somewhere to the story. I only remember the first half. Great setup. Up to Let It Go is like amazing. And then the rest of the movie is very forgettable for me.
That's like
there's
15 minutes in the movie.
Sorry, Dave. Okay, what'd you say?
That's like 15 minutes of the movie. Let It Go is so
I know. I
early in the
was
movie.
like, Sean, that wasn't halfway.
There's a twist, right, where she's like, "Oh, I love you," and you're thinking, "Well, that was fast," and it was fast because then he betrays her.
Right.
I do remember that now. That was cool.
Which I kinda like Hans.
the most obvious betrayal possibly coming.
Yeah. I like Hans. I like the subversion of the expectation there. I think that part's fun. There is a point in this movie, and I think it's specifically Fixer Upper, where I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think now, what are we voting? Because I'll talk more about Tangled if we have to.
I'm voting for Tangled.
Okay, like I think it's Tangled.
That's so. Here's what I'll use this time now to say it. You guys have talked up Tangled forever since it came out. So, I mean, we've basically had this show as long as Tangled has been out, more or less.
Yeah.
And ever since then, you guys have talked it up as like the greatest Disney animated. I like it. It's got plenty of good things. I don't know this level of love for it. I do not understand.
I keep advancing it because it hasn't faced anything that I remotely think should be. It played Wish, and then it played Raya and the Last Dragon, and then it got Frozen. Like, man, it hasn't gone against anything. If Mulan was Frozen, Mulan would be crushing Tangled to me right
Here's
now.
the good news I have for you, Dave. You can't fucking conceive of it. Because you didn't watch it when Disney was dead for a decade. You watched it now when Disney's good again.
Yeah.
So you don't have the proper context for it. And that's not me trying to pull a Sean on you and telling you you're wrong. I'm just telling you can't be right.
Right.
Yes. And that's fair.
Now,
and that's a fair thing.
And I will say, even now, I watch it when it's on TV, and I'm like, oh, there's something magical. Maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe it's there's a way that I like when you say a feel good movie. I think it's a saying that's overused. I think it absolutely applies with this movie between the humor and the voice acting and the story, which is kind of generic. It's maybe the weakest part about the whole thing, but it's almost just window dressing to get these characters interacting, and the chemistry and all of that is really where the heart of the movie is. And so that's why it continues for me to endure so much.
Well, I mean, it's a quirky way of doing like a very classic story that kind of got ignored as these classic stories had been existing for a long time. And they're like, oh, we should get back around to Rapunzel, actually. And they just kind of like left it hanging, like that story hanging for a long time.
And I actually think there's so Ragnarok, one of my favorite Thor movies. When you have humor in a movie and then the humor is actually really funny, that goes a long way for me, as opposed to, I'm just pulling this out, Meet the Robinsons, just as an example, where there is humor. It's not really funny.
We will get to a movie on the other side of the bracket that I think is going to lose very early that is the same way for me. I like its humor so much that it carries so much of a movie that is probably not otherwise amazingly great.
Is it Emperor's New Groove?
Yeah, literally, yes. 100%. And that I think would do really well today more so than it did back then. Anyway, yes, you figured that out right away.
So,
I'm voting for Tangled. Again, as I said, it has been put up against nothing I can try and take down.
We have half of the Elite Eight set, which is where we're leaving off for this week. We have Hercules, an 8 seed, against Zootopia, a 2 seed. We have Lion King, a 1 seed, carrying the chalk, against Tangled, a 3 seed. So we got some seedings all over the place, which is what March Madness is really all about, because you just never know who's going to surprise you and beat somebody else that you thought was a favorite.
Bottom left bracket just bums me out.
It's so interesting that, like, I don't say overrated. I think it's a different connotation. I don't understand, Dave, to your point, the love for Zootopia. I don't. And like, it's another one. I almost feel the same way that you feel about Tangled. You're like, yeah, it's solid. It's a good movie. I don't understand the love for it as much.
I can get into it when it comes up again.
Okay.
Chrissy,
I think that sounds good, actually.
It's funny you mentioned that Disney being dead and having that like feeling and associating with that, because I absolutely understand where you're coming from now. At the time, I so severely put together Pixar and Disney as one thing that I didn't realize Disney was dead.
Sure.
Like, it was just kind of like, oh yeah, this
No,
is
but
what
I mean,
Disney
Pixar
makes now.
killed it.
Pixar movies. Yeah, so it's kind of like, oh, Disney's great because look at these Pixar movies that are coming out. Like, that's how I associated at the time, at least.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we went over, but it's very fun. And thanks for everybody for hanging in there.
So next week, because of the way this is done, unfortunately, we have to finish the left side of the bracket first, at least get to the title game. So we'll do those last 2 matchups on the left, get down to 1 on the left-hand side, and then go a decent way through the right-hand side of the bracket. The final week, we will finish the bracket. So that's 2 weeks from now. It'll be the day after the national championship game. We will crown our own national champion.
More important.
And the second half of the show, because we won't need a full show to finish it, will be a top 100 trivia that is Disney related.
Oh, cool.
That I'm excited about.
Cool.
So we're going full Disney for the next 2 weeks.
So memorize all the ratings of these movies now.
You can try and figure out what it's about. I bet you won't. You can study as much as you like. I don't think it's going to help you on the test day.
I'm not going to study. I want to just go in.
I'm going to walk in.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be relatively even between the 3 of you, so I'm excited to see how it goes. It could also be difficult. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
So we'll see. That's going to be 2 weeks from now. So next week, we'll get another chunk of this done, maybe another 40%. We'll leave some of the right-hand side of the bracket and the championship matchup for the final week, and then we'll celebrate all the things Disney with the top 100 trivia. So please join us again next week. As you saw, you broke, 5 ties? So your vote does matter in this. We're going to make it the majority about us because it is our show. No offense to the audience, but your vote can make a huge difference because it can be the decider when we are split. We'll see you next week for part 2 of this Mickey March Madness, which is not at all March Madness. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time.